Canada's Prime Minister carbon tax Carney, when asked why he stopped the digital sales tax against the Americans and Donald Trump, wasn't willing to admit that he was just too weak to do anything about it. So he tried to come up with what he thought sounded like perfect logic.
As I just said, it's a question of timing in terms of the date for the final negotiations and when the tax was coming into effect. And, it doesn't make sense to collect tax from people and then remit them back.
So you tried to make everybody think that you were being logical. The fact is that the Liberal Party took the carbon tax under your tutelage for years while everybody was saying at them, why would you take money away from me to put it back in my pocket? Why are you just leaving it in my pocket in the first place? Now, when the Americans say it to you, it's all, oh, that makes perfect sense. When the Canadian population said it to you, you tried to call them names and you belittled them and you mocked them for wanting to have a little bit of logic and common sense in their life. Obviously taking the carbon tax from the Canadian population and then trying to claim to them that it was going to put money back in their pocket. They were all going to get rich off of it. Why didn't you tell that to Donald Trump? Why didn't you just say, no, we're taking the digital sales tax, but don't worry about it. We're going to put it back in their pockets and we're going to make them wealthy as a result. I think we can see that the Liberal Party's policies, no matter whether they be new or old, have no sense and are not rooted in logic. Subscribe to the Canadian Shield. Thanks for listening.